Welcome back to Blue Dragon. Now we're doing part 6.
You know, okay, the music here does sound majestic. I'll give it that.
Well, it's the world map dream. This is stuff that the world map has been doing since 1987.
Also, would you look at that? A quest marker for once on the map.
Detected.
Well, yeah, the destination mark only shows up now. That's the problem I have. Like, we have a destination map for the destination mark for the world map, and I guess I should be thankful for that at least. But I kind of wish, if you're gonna have a destination mark, put it in the actual dungeons and villages themselves. I mean, that would be that would help.
And all of a sudden, enemies
I
from
thought I saw a ninja bunny.
Especially because of, like I said in the previous part in the Forest of the Dead, especially considering how a lot of these dungeons, the hallways look the same and samey and so easy to lose your bearings and where you are. And I know that that's what the mini-map on the screen is for, but at the same time, I mean, you shouldn't have to literally be looking at the mini-map 100% of the time to know where you are.
You know, I just realized, why are mooks from the Forest of the Dead all of a sudden showing up here? Like the ghost, brown wolf, and the skeletons?
Teo, you because I'm out of them.
Sorry, what was the question?
The enemies from the Forest of the Dead are now showing up here. Any idea why?
Well, honestly, I know it's probably not in the intention, but considering that we clear the forest from the poison, maybe they're migrating.
That could be an interesting lore building
Sure,
reason.
sure, let's go with that.
What about you, Shiroi? Any words of wisdom to give?
Well, I'm assuming that's something.
Cyclops Bear.
I assume that's something that's not going to be.
I love how his name is Lazy Bear.
I'll take that explanation.
Lazy Bear with one eye.
6 damage. Sergeant Conspiracy Theories.
Yes. A lazy bear with one eye. What kind of character design is that?
I guess considering it was blocking your pathway, it was probably a reference to Snorlax.
You know, Pedro, just hear something. With Maru being the one who deals the most damage right now, that means you're going to be seeing his victory animation the most, which means you'll be hearing those squeaky shoes of his a lot.
Joy.
That's not going to get annoying at all, right, Shiroi?
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
What was that, Shiroi?
I don't think you're happy.
Wait, sorry, what was that, Jova?
That's not going to get annoying at all, is it?
That is my response.
Do we get any reason why there are all of a sudden bears blocking our way too?
Because enemies. Challenge. Exciting battles.
They're not even considered bosses, just random enemies.
I mean,
I don't think I'll be able to bear it.
Defeated. Alright. There's no point to mowing down now.
Hey, there's 2 enemies though.
Yeah, but the mow down works horizontally, not vertically.
Ah.
There were only each row of enemies only had one enemy, so.
There we go.
How many party members did you say we'll get total? 7?
5. One more after this.
Huh.
Oh,
Insert Sentai joke here.
We'll find our 5th party member in 2 parts from now.
Boy or girl?
Girl. You know, that girl that I teased at the end of 2 parts ago, where this wonderful woman who speaks in this incredibly amazing voice.
Oh yeah.
Can't you tell how interesting I am to you by the incredible lack of emotion in my voice?
that's what makes a character so compelling.
Those bears look amazing.
Don't you see, Teo? That's the whole point. It's to make her look likable when side to side with Maru.
I guess.
Pick your poison. An empty shell of a character that sounds like a robot, or the exact opposite. That's exactly the big problem, actually. Now that I'm actually voicing this out loud, it's like Sakaguchi could. It's like in this game, it can only either annoy us or bore us. You cannot do anything in between.
This must be
The way
the
you
entrance
said
to
it
the
was
Gold
fine.
Mountains.
That doesn't look like whatever.
That's right!
Do you still remember the dance that the chief taught you? And why is my first blurry?
That is weird now that I think about it. It's never been like that before. Yeah, maybe.
Alright then.
You can do it, Mario.
You can do it!
Hey, look at that. Did someone blow on Klook's screen? I mean, she looks blurry too.
On the second
Seriously,
camera.
why are the portraits all of a sudden looking blurry? I don't recall them looking.
I
this
thought it was
blurry
my
before.
YouTube.
No,
I
that's
know
the
it's
game.
highest.
That's the game, Shiroi. That's the game.
Right.
Oh,
Knuckles.
yeah,
Oh,
got
no.
a nice beat. Kevin TV.
Joe,
That
we're
was-
having way too
that
much.
was genuinely impressive.
The Rock was so annoyed by Marumaru when he split in two.
Thank you, you
Too easy.
professional wrestler.
Shiroi. I know it's blurry, but it's Klook.
Yes, it's opened. Actually, the name is fine, but
You did it, Marumaru. Genius.
Genius.
What's wrong with that? Yeah.
And he's not blurry anymore.
Yeah! Mario's genius! No. Whatever, let's just
Oh,
let
yeah.
him have it,
Not
otherwise he'll
quite the
complain
word I
and yell.
used, but
Pedro,
sure.
Pedro. If he might complain and yell if we don't.
True.
So
Necessary.
what's his next dungeon?
Now we are in the Gold Mountains, like we said we were going to go to.
So,
Yeah,
how...
but I wonder what kind of dungeon we will have got. I guess
You know,
it's,
I have a
mine.
question.
Go ahead.
How do they know their way back?
People?
Oh, guys, this is the most likable character in the entire game. This guy is basically
how long
this is-
does this whole guy
Is that who I think it is?
basically he's the Pavel of this game
Really?
of sorts.
What is that?
Oh.
Is that who I think it is?
No, it's not Dark Side. Well now, never expected to see anyone here.
Is he a robot?
I don't know. I haven't seen his soul in days. After all, the way here is just teeming with monsters.
I like his theme.
Yeah, I like his theme as well too.
Yeah.
Who am I? Glad you asked.
Actually, we could see your name.
I'm none other than the great explorer, Toripo. I'm practically a legend. You see, my cousin Pavel has been all around the world. Accidentally, sure, but he's still an explorer. You never heard of me? Really? Oh, I see.
You're uncultured!
You don't get out much, apparently.
Well, never mind that. There must be a reason why we've met here.
Yeah.
Yes, the script. I'm traveling around trading artifacts I dug up for metals. Basically,
some notes
because
from groups, I
basically, we've been collecting some quote-unquote metals, which are separate from Gil, before you asked to. Basically, the more metals you have, the more stuff you can exchange for them, like valuable items and stuff like that.
Oh, I see. So it's like...
A secondary shop, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, it gives even boosters.
Yes. Well, I must be off.
Oh, but it's only for a limited time.
To your arms!
So, question.
Okay, okay, that's kind of funny and charming, I'll admit. What
Yeah.
a strange old guy. Bye.
Join.
Well, there you go. That was the first genuinely charming character in this entire game, which of course means he won't be staying around for long.
So, question, Pedro. How do our heroes know the way back home if they've never been out of their village before?
Remember, Jova, we
The
specifically
sage told them.
the sage told him. Pay attention, Jova.
No. What I mean is, like, how did he know where to go after the Go Mountains, unless they're literally right connected to that?
He knows because he's a sage and sages are wise.
No.
I don't know.
What I mean
They're
is, like,
connected, Jova.
what I mean is, like, he didn't mention anything after the Go Mountains. Like, for all they know, there could be something after that.
Well, what can I tell you, Jova? It's a plot hole. What else can I tell you?
Oh, we're already out.
Everything has plot holes.
Never mind. We're
Actually,
already
no,
out. Okay.
actually, no, Jova. That was me. I did it again.
Oh, dude. Okay, bit of an
You
issue.
know, Pedro, maybe the compass should helping you in.
I know too. It's just that
You know what
this-
else is also
I
weird
can,
though?
see, I can assure you, Teo, this never happens in Lost Odyssey or any other JRPGs that I play in.
Besides, the compass doesn't show up in the actual journal, so yeah.
You know another weird thing is the fact that
Again, to be fair, hold on, Joe. To be fair, there is a mini map there in the corner. I understand that, but at the same time, I can do dungeons in the Eternal Sonata, Lost Odyssey, which is made by the same developer of this, by the way, and other RPGs without having to constantly look at the mini map, because I like to use my common sense and use landmarks to make sure I can basically get through the dungeon all right. This game, on the other hand, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't find the dungeons in this game to be particularly easy to navigate through. Go ahead, Pedro.
Another weird thing is like when you actually exit the dungeon, unlike say games like Ni no Kuni, the camera shifts to make it seem like you've made it to the exit as opposed to, you know, make you seem like you've come out of it. Like, well, for example, when you were heading out of the dungeon, it was giving you a front forward view. You know,
True.
like, when you were coming out, instead of, you know, doing the overhead thing, which would have shown you that you were coming out the way you came in. That's really weird, honestly.
I
What do you-
probably wouldn't be able to tell how difficult it is unless I played the game myself, but generally, much like the internet, I prefer to use maps as a last resort.
Oh, it's these kind of
Same.
Yes. Don't you love that too? Don't you?
Love what?
Like what?
It's bandits, Shiroi. They steal your shit, and
She didn't run
Oh,
away.
isn't that fun?
And
Yeah,
you
they
can't
still
get it
should-
back, can you?
no, you can if you manage to beat them before they run. The problem is that they immediately cast run right after stealing from you.
That's archaic.
There are games when that's, you know, actually
Acceptable.
done right, though, so yeah.
Tolerable,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
This is common in JRPGs, to be fair. There are plenty of JRPGs that do this kind of enemy. I'm fine with it, but for the most part, it's just
This is
that.
one of those cases where it's not executed the best, I'm guessing.
No,
No, it's basically the same thing as others. It's just it's just that this game is already not that much fun to begin with, so obviously this particular kind of enemy sticks out as more annoying than usual.
And again, like I said, Miko, if a game mechanic is done well enough, I mean, it can actually work well. You know, because like, if actually there was a mechanic for once where you can actually trick bandits into stealing bad items from you.
I agree.
The closest thing, Jova, is that it's surprising enough, as we kind of mentioned it also to Eternal Sonata, because in that game, while it doesn't have this kind of class of enemies, you actually have items that you can cast on enemies in order to affect stuff like either poisoning them or reducing their stats. So. There we go.
Okay, I'll admit, having listening more to part of it, I am kind of getting interested into this battle theory now, admit.
I don't know.
No, the battle theme is fine, and go ahead, Teo. Sorry.
I don't know, it doesn't strike me particularly.
It's not bad, mind you. It's the Lost Odyssey one is better. I'll just say that.
Well, from what we've learned, it sounds like this game was like an executive mandate in all its entirety.
And
Well,
rushed.
but why this one and not? It's just one of those things. See, that's just the thing, Teo. Regardless of whether or not Sakaguchi cared when making this game, the truth is that, remember, back in the day when this was about to come out, this was heavily promoted by Microsoft. This was announced as the return of Hironobu Sakaguchi, and he's getting together with Nobuo Uematsu again, and Akira Toriyama is doing the character designs and all that shit.
Just
You know,
like
it-
Scalebound was promoted to be the next greater thing made by Platinum Games for the Xbox One.
Yeah, scale.
Pretty much.
Scale.
This is the thing, Teo. Remember, that was
And
back
also-
before people still. Remember, Teo, this was back in 2007 when people still had faith in Microsoft.
And
To be
also,
fair, Microsoft weren't
also
doing
just
too
like,
bad with the Xbox.
just
then-
like all promotional material for Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Balls conveniently hid the car aspect.
Oh yeah, see, here's the thing about Microsoft. With the Xbox, they were actually a proper good console, you know, they had their nice variety of IPs in
But there's
them.
some static coming from you.
I know, right? My headset has been starting to die.
All right then.
I've already
Anyway, I
been
get
new
what you
one.
mean, Jova, but there's the thing. It seems that Microsoft is being natural in doing those marketing things.
Yeah.
So you think that some of the developmental issues with this game may also be some of their fault?
Keep in mind, audience. Keep in mind, audience.
Actually, that would make sense considering how, notice how we brought up the lighting issues before? This is actually kind of in line with a lot of Microsoft's tactics during the Xbox 360 era, where they were trying to make a lot of the more IPs more realistic, which would actually explain why this game is so dark lighting-wise, to say the least.
Consider. I would like to say to the audience, specifically Blue Dragon fans, we're not sure if that's actually what happened. We don't have any evidence to support our theory.
Yeah.
For all we know, Sakaguchi did make the game he wanted to make, or rather, the game he wanted to shit out so he could make Lost Odyssey. That's my personal theory, that this game was basically made so that he could make Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, we're speculating because, well, honestly, there's so many potential clues here and there, and hey, what do you want us to do? We're a commentating group. If we can't speculate...
But there's one thing, there you go, I'm about to turn the audio hints.
Oh, wow, you got... Oh, are you using mouse controls?
Mouse control. Oh, yeah, you can use the Xbox 360 mouse to play the game, but who cares?
Well, it looked like you were using it.
Yeah,
with the
hey
PlayStation.
guys, remember when the
PS2...
Hey guys, remember when the PS3 I think had a keyboard?
Yeah.
Oh god, yes.
Basically, sure. Of course, the Xbox 360 controller had a mouse because, well, you could actually use it as a mouse if you connected it to your computer or laptop.
How else can you quick scope in Call of Duty?
To continue what I was saying, yeah, like I said before. Well, actually, I don't know. Playing first-person shooters with a mouse can be very helpful. But anyway, oh god, that's static. Anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, we don't know if there really was executive meddling. However, considering what happened in recent years with stuff like Scalebound and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if there really wasn't executive meddling, considering Microsoft has always been shitty at dealing with Japanese developers.
And once you know, nowadays it's gone beyond.
Hold on, Jova. Kluk, how can you see Tata Village from there?
Wait.
Exactly.
No, he hypothesized that passing through the... Oh!
We're back.
Oh, there it is.
It feels like we've been away forever.
Not really, considering the pace.
I hope that everyone's alright.
Why wouldn't they be?
We'll know soon enough.
It's interesting you say that, Jova.
Wait, hold on. So they went out there and
Don't worry, Jova. We're about to return in a moment, so you'll see for yourself.
Let me guess. The village is desecrated. They
I like to say it,
revenge
too.
on the bad guy because
Yes.
he burned down their village.
Listen to this track. This track, this is yet another track from this game that sounds very FF7-esque to me.
The haunting aspect of it.
What the
that's
hell
just
is this thing?
What's with the white fog?
It's an enemy that drops this thing that makes things harder to see, because that's fun.
Why did the screen turn white?
Because an enemy dropped a light bomb on me or some shit like that.
So
'cause
does
that's-
it,
I guess it's just a matter of time before it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
so does it go away? You know, go when you enter a fight as well?
Yes. It's the minor annoyance because we need one more in this game apparently.
But yeah, I get what you mean with the
Near
soundtrack.
Talta Village.
Yeah, very good, Jova. Very connected.
There you go. And guess what?
The village is desecrated, isn't it?
Oh no! Tail! The Talta villagers! They're dead! They're Tail! I'm so broken inside! Hold me!
Hold on.
I can't even give a shit.
Well, maybe they're not dead. Maybe they're just missing.
Well, remember, Jabba. Of course.
Yet.
Well, remember, Jabba. Right now, we're trying to make the player think that they're dead
Joke?
for tension and shit.
Haha, my parents are already dead, so I have nothing to lose here.
True.
But yeah, like I was saying, Tail. What if the villagers are dead? How can we possibly cope?
So I
Like
guess.
Mr. Shoe's grandpa, whose name I don't even know,
So
and
I've
Jiro's
actually
parent.
forgotten, to be fair.
So I called it. That of course the
Yeah,
heroes.
you see what I mean?
Hey guys,
I mean,
hey guys.
This would have been. This would. Hold on, Java.
Hey guys.
Hold on, Java.
Well,
Go ahead, then.
Stop me if you heard this before. Hero in a JRPG is the protagonist's village gets attacked and destroyed.
Yes. That's Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII. It's a Sakaguchi trope. Dark Star.
Not just that, JRPGs in general kind of
Exactly. Anyway, go on, Pedro.
You see what I mean in terms of this game's emotional, or at least more tense stuff, feeling rather hollow. I mean, we spent, like Theo specifically talked about how the pacing is terrible. We spent barely any moments in this village. In fact, we didn't spend any moments in this village. We were just doing with the land shark when we last were here. So.
Yeah.
Why should I care if assuming that they are dead? I know that, of course, they're not, but assuming that they are.
Oh.
We're gonna learn that they aren't. But the point is, imagine if they were. Let's pretend for a moment that they are indeed dead. Why should I care? I mean, the game didn't really get me to know any of these people. Neither the main characters. I can even feel sorry for the main characters losing their family because I don't care about the main characters even.
You know what's weird?
This game needs to fucking, like Teo said, this game needs to fucking slow down for a minute. Develop the characters. Establish atmosphere. Something.
Hey, Pedro.
Go ahead.
You know one JRPG that actually got us to care for a village that we hadn't seen before that got attacked and destroyed?
Go ahead.
Final Fantasy VII!
Indeed.
But yeah, actually it is weird. Like, well, we actually do care about Cloud's old hometown, even though that's the first time we ever really see it.
Well, Joe, but to be fair, one thing that Final Fantasy VII does really well, and during the flashbacks, you can go to your mother's house and have a long conversation there about okay, did you get a girlfriend yet? Did you get a girlfriend yet? So you can get a basic sense of how the villages and the overall life in Nibelheim is before shit goes to the fan.
Oh, precisely,
you know?
precisely. That's why I was bringing it up for comparison. It's like,
yeah.
I mean,
with this,
though,
like, again, what reason? Honest question. What reason do I have to care? Really?
Not only that, but why does Kluke care?
My house. Remember, Genova. Her parents are dead, and this was her last memory of them, or some.
Well, her house is still there. So
who cares?
Yeah, in fact, her house seems just fine and intact.
Psst. We're not going to create a different version of the house that's destroyed because we kind of have to rush this game out.
So that's making it even harder for me to care, you know. I don't get it. I mean, seriously.
It's such an emotional dud. I feel nothing.
Again.
If you feel anything right now, aside from numbness.
Curiosity about what happened, surely.
Yeah, but aside from that, well, that too, I will admit, when I first got the also got curiosity for what happened as well. But aside from that, Tail, do you feel anything at all?
I can feel the music trying to terrify me, even though it's not. Well, I mean, okay, the soundtrack is haunting here, but that's it.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Being bored is a bigger crime than being angry to me.
Oh no, guys. Skeletons! That means they're dead! Woo!
I'd personally rather be bored than angry.
This is the part where I would say lost, but I already turned off the audio hints, so...
So, let's see. Here's a stupid thing. Why do they question whether or not it was the land shark when we already established that the land shark was fake?
Hey, look, Tail, we're back at the very beginning of the game.
Question, why do they ponder whether or not it's a land shark when we established that there's no such thing as a land shark now?
No, well, we established what
Hold on, guys,
there is,
find a
it's
person.
just not what they thought it was.
Go ahead, Tail, you can be this guy.
I'm dying.
A peddler.
Are you feeling sick or something?
What the fuck?
No, he's...
No, I feel real good.
Sarcasm?
Because tasty morsels like you straight right. What?
What? Let's back away. Oh, so it's a ghost.
Yes.
Demon. Here we go again.
So, oh no, it turns out that villager turned out to be a boss.
Oh great, a necromancer. That's just what we needed.
Yes.
Oh no,
Yay,
guys.
those with necrokinesis are awesome.
For the record, Tail, for the sake of Shiro, who's kind of not really into JRPGs, would you please explain what a necromancer is?
Basically, a necromancer is an generally evil wizard who usually uses dark magic, and his specialty is reviving and controlling the dead.
Indeed.
They tend to waste your time in JRPGs for the obvious reason.
I mean, it's
Like
a trope
that.
that's usually associated with the bad guy, but I've seen some subversion and sometimes some necromancers in some media that are used in your actual active party.
So I wonder
For
how
example,
this...
I think recently Diablo 3 actually implemented the necromancer job.
I wonder how long the site will take if you're not maxed out like you are.
It takes a
Remember,
bit, yeah.
he's using the insane difficulty, and it seems that this guy is parrying all the earlier attacks.
He is. Basically, you need to kill all of his soldiers before you can properly kill him.
And you revive someone.
That's not annoying at all.
Sure.
But wait, can you really kill them if they're all already dead?
Actually, you can, Darkstar. Actually, you can.
Philosophical question, Darkstar.
Actually, the show Supernatural did establish that when a supernatural being is brought back from the nether regions, of course, in hell or heaven, you can actually try and kill them. And if they are killed, destroyed under the circumstances, then they are sent to their proper gravesite in purgatory.
Jova, the volume's cutting in and out.
God dang it, Darkstar! I just gave you a whole textbook lecture.
It's okay. No,
Basically,
it's okay.
basically, Darkstar, that which is already dead, they go to purgatory after it dies.
Your volume cut out again. I'm being serious.
Okay, what?
Okay,
The
sure,
point is,
you
Darks-
tell him
the-
what I said then.
Hold on. The point is, Darkstar. If they're dead, they just die and they become alive again.
Hey, that's not what I said though.
Who cares? Moving on.
Darkstar does.
And also, Darkstar, I think it's your problem because everyone sounds fine to me.
Yeah. Darkstar?
Oh no, water magic that barely does any damage.
Why would a necromancer use water magic anyway? In the middle of a desert, wouldn't that kind of revive people from dying?
You know, Job, if you're going to start a mini rant every time something nonsensical happens in this game, we're going to be here for a long time.
Not just that, Jova. I mean, as you mentioned already, the actions in this game are very limited anyway, so it's
I
logical
know.
that
We
them
should do a,
out of
we should
place.
have a commentary on someone's actual life while it's happening.
Sorry,
This isn't the Truman Show.
Hey, Teo,
Yeah?
this is the beginning.
Okay.
Of the end.
And we beat him!
Oh.
Oh, by the way, by
come
the way, actually, Teo, by the way, since you asked in an earlier part why Purple Heart, turns out Sakaguchi is a huge fan of them.
Purple Heart?
Oh, okay. Deep Purple, the band.
Deep Purple.
Oh, I was about to say Purple Heart. Are you referencing Neptunia?
Help me!
How do we know you're not a boss?
So there, no, hey, shoot, you guys, help me! So yeah, basically that necromancer tied the innkeeper so he could set a trap for us and shit. I'm saved thanks to you. That monster had locked me up. He imprisoned me and was attacking anyone who visited the village.
For shits and giggles.
Now he's gone thanks to you. Thanks a million. Bye.
Everyone else is
Thanks.
gone.
It's not much of a thank you, but take this. Cordial earring.
An earring. But your
Oh, you're
inventory is full.
Oh right, you're in a New Game Plus. Well, I'll do my best to keep business going by myself. You want to shop or you take a rest?
No, no discounts.
So let me get this straight. No, you saved my life discounts?
No. The man's running a biz. The man's there you go. There you go, Theo. There's the end jingle.
Aw, that's
cute.
actually cute. Okay, that's 1 plus.
It's a very small plus.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
We're still not. There's still reports that people have not gotten their rewards yet.
They never. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say that they never will.
Well, on the plus side, that lawsuit's still coming about.
Consider me I know there's gonna be someone who's gonna be like the characters in Prometheus and go, "Don't be such a skeptic." But
I got distracted. You're talking about Mighty Number 9.
yes.
Because this game just
So
isn't
now
correct
what
in
to do?
SNL. Yeah, that's
Now
a
we
good
need to
question.
find
actually.
some kind of-
reminds us of Mighty Number 9.
Like, I've actually made the analogy a few 2 parts ago, Darkstar, that or was it 3? Whatever. I made previously an analogy that I find this game to kind of be the My Number 9 of JRPGs, because let's think about it. Sakaguchi left Square, so he can found his own studio, so that he can make a game that's a spiritual successor to his earlier work. What does this remind you of?
The difference is that he actually got around to doing that properly with Lost Odyssey, whereas Keiji Inafune was revealed to have been... It's sad, really, honestly. The man actually...
Surprisingly enough, Jova, that crossover with Azure Striker Gunvolt seems actually fun.
Oh, I do like that too. I like Mighty Gunvolt, but we have more so Inti Creates to thank for that, as opposed to Inafune. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. He was an action consultant for Azure Striker Gunvolt. Although, really, I don't get why people credit him for Azure Striker Gunvolt.
Guys, I can't handle the horror of the devastated village.
The humanity.
Grandpa's Workshop! Oh no! We never were here
Here we go,
before.
Fushira, that's the name of a grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa, he has a name?
Apparently.
Uh-oh, there's no music
Alright,
here. That seems to imply something
I guess
spooky's
it's
gonna
me.
happen.
Cutscene.
Dear Shu.
Jiro.
Actually, it's
voice
voice acted,
If
actually.
you are reading this letter, know that we are all safe and sound. We have had to relocate.
There you go. Everybody's been evacuated to the safe zone.
After taking
Except for that poor
Jova.
merchant, apparently.
Landshark returned to plague us for days without end, reducing our poor village to the state in which you
Wait,
now see
days
it.
passed?
Basically, the land shark kept returning and destroyed the village to the point where it's inevitable, so they ran away.
Why didn't they do that
Is
before
that however
again?
long and hazardous
Beats
all
me!
the
Shiroi asked that same question in part 1! And like I said to Shiroi, there you go, Shiroi, like I told you in part 1, they did eventually move out. Now, once again, Shiroi, you're probably gonna ask again, why didn't they just do this to begin with? Beats the hell out of me!
Headcanon. His grandfather secretly hated him and was waiting for when he would leave, then he could move. Because now they have no idea where they are. Like, seriously, you didn't tell them what direction you're even going in, Gramps?
Well, actually, they did. I think it's about the deducing it now. There you go, they did tell him he's going to Jabral.
Maro doesn't know. Is it far?
It's about 3 days by the
Okay,
coast road.
Wamatsu-san, you hear this theme that you're playing right now? You should have played this theme in that Moonlight scene. It would have felt more appropriate.
Maybe they're not okay. The
What?
whole village moved.
This
That means
track that we're
Snowflakes
listening to
and
right now,
aliens too, right?
it would have been fit better in that Moonlight scene we saw earlier.
Well,
in part 5.
geez, Shu, of course the village is gonna have trouble moving.
3 days
So wait,
might
is that
not be
merchant
enough
just gonna
time.
stay here for the rest of his life alone?
Apparently, yeah.
Poor bastard.
We gotta go after them.
Hey, Tim, gotta give it to the guy. He's dedicated to his job.
Hold
True.
on.
What for?
Still
Let's
sad
use the
though.
shortcut through the Valley of Murals.
Wait,
What?
but
Are you serious?
a shortcut? Yeah, I'm with Shu. Are
Wait,
you
I
serious?
Is that not a marshal I hear?
Of Murals. I think they
What?
would choose the coast road
Don't
instead.
think so.
How
So let me get this straight. There's a shortcut in the village.
Because the murals in
didn't-
that valley are alive. It
Oh,
said they
that's
attack
why.
and eat anyone who passes by.
Wait. Oh, demon walls. Okay.
That's right, Teo. Very good.
Though I've never seen it myself.
Let's just go. We're wasting time
Dude.
talking about it.
Let's just go. We're wasting time talking
Let's
about it.
Well then, let's
The
go.
voice direction is.
Join. Oh, wait, no, not anymore.
You missed the voice, don't you, Tio?
Not really, though. I mean, he's making fun of them, sure.
I'll admit to that. I'll admit to that too. You know, I kind of really do feel sorry for that merchant. I mean, it is kind of creepy out here.
Oh well, it's his decision, Jova. You have to respect that.
Alright.
Yes.
I just hope he doesn't go all Jack from The Shining on himself. Shut
I
up,
should.
Vincent.
I should feel something in a story where an entire village got decimated.
Emptiness. You're feeling emptiness. Try and work with that, I guess.
I'll be honest and say that image of ruined Egypt and Forbidden Memories was better than this.
It was. I don't even know what you're talking about, and I'm just going to assume
No,
it is.
as in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories when you get back to the...
Oh no.
Yeah, he does have a point. Since we actually did know the character's better there, you actually do get a better
And that's
sense of
sad
emotion.
because Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is one of the shallowest plots, even by Yu-Gi-Oh! standards.
And yet
Is
that
that-
plot has
Is that a
more
game,
weight.
or is that a part of the team?
Forbidden Memories is a PS1 Yu-Gi-Oh! game, Shiroi.
Okay.
So
and it's garbage.
So Forbidden Memories has more
The plot is garbage, but I thought the gameplay was okay, honestly.
Yeah.
It had problems, don't get me wrong, and it required a shit ton of grinding. That's
would you look at that? The cliff collapsed.
I've only
cliff
ever
must have
seen the
collapsed.
anime and read a couple of volumes of the manga, so...
The manga's pretty good, and I'll give it this. I actually do dig the art style of Forbidden Memories.
Let's go through the Valley of Mirrors.
So let me get this straight.
And once again, Kluk is blurry.
So let me get this straight. So we established the shortcut, but then they chose not to go for the shortcut.
Because the rocks are in the path, they can't go through there.
No. Well, I mean, it's like, well, now they're going on the shortcut, but originally it seemed like they were gonna go through...
Well, to be fair, Joe, but that's because I specifically chose to go there. If I went straight to the Valley of Mirrors, that cutscene wouldn't have triggered.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I guess that's neat.
I just wanted to show off that one little detail in case you could.
With all these monsters out and about, it's a wonder how they made it out.
Actually, I'm gonna give credit for this game over one thing, over Lost Odyssey, because it's kind of is a step back, because Lost Odyssey brought back the random encounters, and considering this game went the Chrono Trigger route, I kind of wish Psychology would have kept the Chrono Trigger route in Lost Odyssey as well, but considering everything else is so much better...
What he means is that basically, Shuri, in Lost Odyssey, there were random encounters, as opposed to this game, where you can actually see the monsters on the map, so you won't run in... Well, you may run into them, but at least you'll know when you're getting into a fight.
It is a step back from this game, but considering everything else was a step up, I guess I'll forgive it.
You know what's weird, though? I mean, does anyone really like random encounters? Genuinely?
Not really anymore. Well, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Well, yeah. I was about to say that.
It's not so much that we mind them. I mean, it's like,
them.
What I meant is other people actively asking for them is what I meant.
Not asking. I don't think anyone's specifically asking for random encounters, but some people like Teo obviously won't mind them. But I think all of us will have to agree at the very least that there are better alternatives. The random encounter mechanic is a dated mechanic from the past that doesn't really need to.
Unless it's, say, Pokemon.
I'm fine with them as long as they don't happen every few weeks.
Pedro, I can't believe it. The game actually... Oh my god, the game actually did something that was creepy there. And we're already in a boss. I thought this was going to be a whole dungeon.
Actually, this is a normal enemy.
Yeah, you can
Anyway,
oh, that's right. It is a normal enemy. My bad.
In fact, what was it? Yeah, we're talking about the random encounters. Well, Shiro, it's one of those things. That's one thing that I'm looking forward to when I eventually start recording Dragon Quest VIII, because Dragon Quest VIII has the traditional random encounters, but aside from going the blue, aside from going for the Brave of the Default route, because Brave of the Default has a meter where you can literally change from your percentage of frequency random encounters from 100 to 0. 0, of course, means you don't run into any encounters aside from bosses. And 100 basically every step, so you can grind. So basically, in Brave of the Default every second, you can literally choose how frequent the random encounters are to your convenience. If it isn't like that, I would prefer it if they were done like in Dragon Quest VIII, because one cool thing about Dragon Quest VIII is that once you have a random encounter, the game will basically wait 7 seconds before the random encounters are possible again. So to allow the player to move about quite a bit before the randomness starts again. Anyway, that was part 6. Tune in for part 7, where Teo will finally get his wish, and we're going to get some lore.
Yay!
Hooray!
See you next time.
See you, everybody.